Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of our Nation Sports Show, live here on YouTube. Tonight's edition of our Nation Sports Show is dedicated to the memory of my uncle, Bob Rogers, who passed away, unfortunately, last week. He was very sick the last couple of years, and thank God he's not suffering anymore. And gonna miss him. I just want to say a couple of words before we get this show rolling about my uncle. He was a great man. He was a pilot for 30 plus years. He flew all over the world, from countries to countries, California, New York, England, all over the place, just visiting, everywhere he went when he worked. He was a great guy. And my fondest memories of my uncle is his passion for sports. And you're seeing this jersey, this Lawrence Taylor jersey, going, why am I wearing a Giants jersey? And no, it's not because Cam Newton's going to the Giants this year. No, that's not happening. But this is out of respect and out of love and what I know what he loved. And that was sports. He was a Giants fan all his entire life. And I'm going to miss our talks about sports. And we watched the NBA Finals 11 years ago between the Celtics and the Lakers, and that was a lot of fun. I mean, I remember watching Game 5 with him. He was like, "What is going on?" Like, because the game was just crazy, and then we had fun watching that series. And then in 2013, when the Spurs and the Heat had their series in 7 games, we were shocked. We were like, "Wow, this series is going to 7." We were just couldn't believe it. And we talked about NFL and all that. I remember the first Super Bowl I watched with him when I was 14. It was the infamous Super Bowl when the Seattle Seahawks took on the Pittsburgh Steelers in Super Bowl 40 in Detroit. And I was at my uncle and his wife's house that night. And we were like, what the hell's going on? Like this is insane. Like that was one of the most infamous games in NFL history because the referee, controversy was so vivid in that game and so eye-opening. He was like, dude, what are you doing? This is stupid. Just talking about NFL and NBA, and he was a diehard Yankees fan. He was a diehard Yankees fan, and he was also a diehard Dale Earnhardt Sr. fan. That was his favorite NASCAR driver, and I'm gonna miss him for sports. But the most important thing I'm gonna miss him for is him being a phenomenal father and husband to his wife and to his children, to Eric, to Shelby, Ashley, April, and all the kids. I love you. And I'm praying, for you guys. I love you guys. And just, here's a message for everybody. Life is short. And tell your friends, your family, and the ones that you love, that you care for, that you love them, because you never know when their number is going to be called up. So once again, tonight's show, our Nation Sports Show, dedicates the memory to my uncle, Bob Rogers.
When you think momentum is on your side, it can change in the blink of an eye. After losing Game 1 against the Hawks, Milwaukee responded, winning the next 2 games against Atlanta, up 2-1, Game 4 on Atlanta's home floor. With a chance to put a stranglehold on the series against Atlanta, it looks like the series has taken a momentum swing because Giannis Antetokounmpo went out with a left knee injury, keeping him out for the rest of the game. And Atlanta took full advantage, led by Lou Williams scoring 21 points and Bogdanovic scoring 20 points for Atlanta as well. The Hawks rallied past the Bucks, tying the series at 2 games apiece, winning Game 4 110-88. Now, how will the Bucks respond in Game 5? In the Western Conference Finals, down 2-0 against the Phoenix Suns, the Los Angeles Clippers had to respond in Game 3, and they did, winning Game 3 106-92. In Game 4, just when you thought the playoff intensity could not reach a higher level, it did. with 12 opportunities to tie or take the lead. In the final stages of the fourth quarter against the Suns, the Clippers missed every single shot as Phoenix held on for a defensive win, 84-80, to take a 3-1 series lead with Game 5 back in Phoenix. Down 3-1 in Game 5, Paul George put the Clippers on his back, scoring 41 points to send the series back to Los Angeles, keeping their series alive for a Game 6. In Game 6, Chris Paul said, "I can match your masterpiece," as well as Chris Paul had one of his best, if not his greatest, playoff performance in his entire career, as he scored 41 points for the Suns as well, and he had no turnovers. As the Suns clinch the Western Conference Finals against the Clippers, now they await the winner of the Eastern Conference Finals. Who will they face, the Bucks or the Hawks? The nation speaks to you. Next. From the gridiron to the court, talking all that is sports. Members of the Busted Up Nation bring to you our Nation Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Kevin, Statman, Big Gun, Ezra, Victor, and Steven Wyand.
Welcome back to me, and welcome to another edition of our Nation Sports Show. I'm Kevin. We're going to go rock this. Just a couple of quick things, as I don't know what I just did to. Just a couple of quick things. I want to go and give a special shout out to Sam in Cleveland and Kevin Corey for filming them the last couple of weeks. It's been rough. Colin sucks. Work sucks. Everybody knows this. I hate being an adult. I hate being an adult. Let's just leave it. So, and I also want to go and send out my condolences to Steve's uncle, Bob Rogers, and his family. It's a very terrible thing going here. So, I ain't gonna pour one out, but I'll certainly go and take those two as celebrate his life. We are off to a great start. So I'm going to start introducing everybody before we get any more awkward than we currently already are. So I'm going to go and start with the man out in the west, Indiana, Ezra. What's going?
What's going on, everybody? It's hard to get more awkward than it can be with this show with us three morons on this. Let me tell you, the only way it could get any more awkward is if Chad from Albany was on this show. But then again, he probably barely knows how to use Zoom, so he probably wouldn't make it. No, I'm kidding. We love you, Chad. But no, seriously, I'm excited, man. It's been a wild week in sports with the NBA playoffs, the Stanley Cup finals. It's just been everything going on in between. It's been wild, and I'm ready to discuss it with y'all. Let's rip it. Let's take care, brush your hair, throw some napkins in the air.
Oh, well, all of a sudden, Indiana turns into New Jersey, and I don't know what to make of this. So we're now going to go and join the man who will be having his Brett Favre game tonight. We'll be doing this with a heavy heart. The man in North Kakalaki. Steven, how's it going?
I appreciate that sentiments there, brother. Yes, I'm having my quote-unquote Brett Favre game. Yes, and it's going to be a phenomenal show covering the NBA playoffs, and it is the start of the Stanley Cup Finals. So let's go!
Yes, it is. Well, it's not the start. We're going to be on Game 3 tomorrow night. Start happening on Monday night. Where,
Yep.
well, I guess that's where we're going to start. And yeah, Tampa blew the barn doors off of Montreal 5-1 on Monday night. It was not a good game by Carey Price. Played well in spots, but then there were also spots where he didn't really play all that great. And then again, he's going up against a buzzsaw in Tampa Bay. Of course, I got cough. Show starts. So, with that said, last night they lost 3-1 to Tampa. So I know there's going to be a few people out there who are not going to like the take that I have next, and I'm going to explain why I have this take. Go Habs, go. Those who don't know, I'm a massive Boston Bruins fan. As you guys have plainly gone and heard me, screaming at the TV because they ain't scoring or they're not doing something right or they're pass, shoot the puck, miss, pass. You get the point. That said, I have to go and root for Montreal in this series. The team currently, it's fun. That's just a fun team to watch because it's just how many more things can happen to this team? How many more times when they go and prove all the doubters and say, yeah, we can go and beat the best of them? I mean, they beat Toronto, who was one of the top teams to move on to the Stanley Cup final. They went and swept Winnipeg, and then they beat Vegas, who once Toronto was out, they pretty much said, all right, it's either Vegas or Tampa winning the Stanley Cup final this year, and take your pick as to which one you want. Now, granted, a Vegas fan base that, dumping the puck into your own zone to go and do a line change, and they scream in absolute excitement because, oh my God, they moved the puck. Like, guys, dump the puck in. They're doing a line change. Not exciting at all. You'll get there eventually. They're new hockey fans. They'll get there, but it can be a little annoying at times. The Montreal beat 7-6. And to hear the overtime winner and to hear 3,000, 5,000 fans in the Bell Center, oh, that was heaven to go and hear that, especially in a city like Montreal with such a passionate fan base. They're the ones I hate. I hate the fan base. They're the ones that try to go and get Zdeno Chara charged with a crime for at the time, legal hockey pick. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? So, all that said, the other stuff I have to go and say regarding Montreal and this is not allegiance. The rivalry between Montreal and Boston currently, there's really no juice to it. It has been since 2011, 2012. You could say maybe 2014 or 15, one of those 2 years where it was a 7-game series and Montreal ended up winning. Yeah, you can maybe make a case that that's the. But no, I'm gonna go and tell you that it's been dormant for a while. This team is fun to go watch, and the enemy of my enemy is my friend. My enemy, of course, is Montreal, but my bigger enemy right now is Tampa Bay, and they're also the enemy of Montreal right now. So, gonna have to go and root for Montreal on this one, especially given the fact that in the last 5 seasons, if Tampa Bay faced the Bruins in the playoffs, they would have beaten the barn doors off the Bruins like 2 times it faced. And add into that, the Tampa this year, all of a sudden, Steve Stamkos and I keep doing his first name, Kucherov. He wanted to call him Nikita Kucherov, but I know that it's so we say that. So Kucherov and Stamkos all of a sudden are magically able to come back to play in the playoffs. Haven't played all season and were off the books. So, you're 17 million over the cap. Hopefully it's just the off season, but probably won't because Tampa's be darling in the NHL. And I really don't want John Cooper, who winds up complaining he doesn't get his way, to go and win the Stanley Cup again. One, it's bad enough. So, I'm in full favor of Montreal winning the Stanley Cup. Am I really prepared for the backlash in Boston? Yeah, I am. They can go get back. Come on, guys. It's a hockey game, and I don't like Tampa more right now than Montreal. Am I prepared for Montreal fans if they want to start, shout from the rooftops they're the best hockey team? Yeah, I am. And all I'll go and tell them is, well, you kind of played in the kind of crap division due to COVID, and you got into the playoffs, you played your hearts out, and yeah, it's still to make it the best hockey team. But yeah, no, it's been a somewhat exciting playoff, especially the Montreal angle. But I think a lot of us hockey fans are now with Tampa having the 2-0 lead, looking at it going, Tampa's going to sweep this one. So it would be absolutely great if Tampa goes into Montreal tomorrow night in the Bell Center for Canada. This is Center de Bed. And they beat them with 3-0. And then Montreal performs the reverse sweep. I can't even say that with a straight face, not because it won't happen, but because that would just be so great. If Montreal, I'll put it out there. If Montreal does the reverse sweep on the Tampa Bay Lightning, the first show after that happens, I will open it up. I go, welcome to another edition of our Nation Sports Show, and ole, 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 ole. I will sing to the rooftops anything Montreal Canadiens like. Just out there in the open right now. All right. I've got what I want to say about the NHL out. How about you guys?
Oh man, I mean, that was a great opening monologue about the Montreal, man, because how fitting
you don't sound bitter at all, man.
Dude.
I'm not bitter about it. I'm honestly like, look, I knew the Bruins got lucky with who they played in the first round because the goaltending for Washington was pretty bad. I thought that they got lucky. I figured like, the Islanders, it'll be a coin flip, but I think we can beat them, and clearly we could. And then I was rooting very heavily for the Islanders against the Lightning. So I'm like, no, not the Lightning, please, not the Lightning. I knew if the Bruins beat the Islanders and went on to Tampa Bay in the Stanley Cup semifinal, I knew like, yeah, this is gonna be another 4 or 5 game series. Yeah. No, I knew that was gonna happen. So, but no, I'm not bitter per se. I'd be bitter if it was like, if that famed original 6 idea of Boston and Montreal became a Stanley Cup final and Montreal won. I'd be a little bitter at that.
Yes.
Go ahead, Steven, continue what you were saying.
Yeah, it's a very daunting task for the Canadiens, but this is the NHL playoffs, and anything has happened before. And it ain't over till it's over. And man, if they can somehow pull the reverse sweep against Tampa Bay, that will be one of the greatest things on our show's history, because you're going to come on here and start singing the praises of Canada for once in your life as a Boston fan, a diehard Boston sports fan. I mean, my goodness. I mean, today it is National Canadian Day, and it is Canada Day. And it's it has to start somewhere tomorrow, and they're down 2-0, and it's a very daunting task against this Tampa Bay Lightning team, a team that won the Stanley Cup a year ago. And let's see what happens. Anything can happen.
Yep, anything can happen. And if this just, again, even if Montreal doesn't win the Stanley Cup, it just proves once again that the NHL playoffs is the best, because you could have Montreal Canadiens this season ended with 59 points. That's good for 9 or 10, maybe 11 in the conferences. But they got a playoff spot due to the division realignment due to COVID. Since Canadian teams could cross the border with America, like until obviously the finals with Vegas. But to have a team with that many points make it to the Stanley Cup Finals proves once again the NHL playoffs are the most unpredictable, the most fun to watch, and they're just so damn entertaining. So, Ezra, you got any thoughts?
I never have any thoughts. I just have opinions, and none of them really matter. But no, what I have, no, it's this whole playoffs run has been exciting to watch, and to see certain teams make it, certain ones didn't, and the way the games have played out and the series have played out has been awesome to watch. If Montreal could do this, I will absolutely be floored. I mean, Tampa has been playing on another level this series, and and that's something I understand how much you don't like Tampa Bay because you being a Boston fan, and it's something that you can't deny and we can't deny. Boston is just out of their minds, playing very, very well. And when the lightning strikes, Aerosmith reference, it's gonna be hard to stop them. But like Steve said, anything is possible in sports. Sports is the most unpredictable thing on the planet. You don't know what's going to happen, whether it's an NHL game, a UFC fight, a soccer game. It don't matter. All it takes is one goal, one shot, one throw to finish a game, to shock the world. And I think that Montreal, they're down, but they're not out, and they could do it. They just got to make the right plays when it counts. They just got to have their defense in the right spots. They just got to have great goaltending and great setups for their shooters. Once they do, I think this series could be flipped on its head. But they got to start now. If they don't win Game 3, they're not going to come back. They have to win Game 3. This is a must-win situation for them, and they got to really put everything together now.
No, they do. They definitely do. They need to go in and step up. Hopefully they do win the Stanley Cup. Obviously, if Tampa wins it again, they'll be, I think it'll be the first back-to-back. I want to double check this because I don't want to.
If I'm not
The
mistaken,
last thing I want to go and do is be wrong.
If I'm not mistaken, Kevin, was the last back-to-back Pittsburgh?
For some reason, I had Detroit in my head, but then Pittsburgh creeped in. Like, wait, didn't they just recently do this?
Let me see.
So let me go and look. This is Stanley Cup champions on Wikipedia. You all know that Wikipedia is the most trusted place to go for anything like this because it's never edited wrongly.
Steven was dead on.
Remember, yeah, Steven was dead on. I knew, like, wait, Pittsburgh creeped in, but yeah, Pittsburgh in 2016 and 2017, they were the last team to go back-to-back. Oh, excuse me, back-to-back Stanley Cup Finals, as well as the last team to win back-to-back. Before that, I was going to be right if it wasn't Pittsburgh, Detroit Red Wings back in 97, 98, when they were just gods of hockey. They were not, however, the last time to go to back-to-backs. The New Jersey Devils in the like in 2000 and 2001, they both 2001 and 2000 they both went to the Stanley Cup final, winning in 2000 as Dallas Stars, losing to Colorado Avalanche in 2001. Then after that, it was from 2008 to 2009, were both Detroit Red Wings and Pittsburgh Penguins reached the Stanley Cup final 2 years in a row. 2008, 2009, which ended up giving, like, those were Stanley Cup finals that year. Those 2 years. Detroit get the first one in 2008, and then the rematch the next year, Pittsburgh getting it for the City Kids first. So a little bit of bit of information for you next time you're on Jeopardy or watching Jeopardy. If you're on Jeopardy and go and say something, shout me out, please.
I'm sorry, but that must be in the form of a question.
I'm going to try to form this question. No, not working. Brain no work.
Well, you've been off for 2 weeks. Of course, it's not going to work.
2 weeks.
Oh, wait. You thought my brain was working before I was off for 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Barely, but it's there.
He still hasn't found what
Alright.
he's looking for.
Oh, really? You had to reference that.
Yes, even though I can't stand that band, but I digress.
Oh, by the way, just to let you know, I do have some breaking news concerning the NBA when we get to it.
Ooh,
we're
interesting.
going to get
Okay.
to that in a minute.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I just,
when we get to it.
you set me off with that. Still haven't found what I'm looking for, because you're absolutely right. I still haven't found what I'm looking for, and what I still haven't found is a beautiful day.
And your next beautiful day will be Sunday, Bloody Sunday.
Next thing you know, I'm going to try to start speaking in
Bloody
Spanish.
Sunday.
I'm going to start speaking Spanish, and all of a sudden I'm just going to go uno, dos, tres, catorce.
Wonderful. Sir.
Oh, God, I want to.
He's on the sports show in the name of love.
That is correct.
Jar. Just jar for that one. Moving on. I can't believe I started enjoying it.
You're welcome.
All right, we got to rein this back in. Let's go into the NBA. Okay. So, Ezra, breaking news. Let's start with that one.
Well, the breaking news that I have is one. It's kind of obvious, but they just announced it about 25 minutes ago, and that is that Trae Young will be out.
Oh, Trae Young is also out.
Yeah, I believe he's been dealing with a foot injury. I believe
that is correct.
That was from the ref bump the other night, right?
Yes. Yes,
Wow.
actually. Yep, it says
pro wrestling lingo.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, this is from this is on the front of ESPN from Tim Bontemps. He put that they'll be without Trae Young for Game 5 because of the bone bruise on his right foot. He was testing it out before the game, but Young said he didn't feel comfortable playing on it right now. So they're gonna keep evaluating him and see what he's able to do to get back into it for Game 6. But the thing was, they didn't even get Trae Young the other night with the way they dominated.
Exactly,
No,
especially after Giannis went out with the injury.
Yeah, and with Giannis being out again tonight, I mean, could this be another year of the underdog? Could you see Atlanta, do what Montreal was doing? Nobody expected them to beat the Knicks the way they did. Nobody expected them to beat who they beat, the Nets, I think.
They beat the Nets. Milwaukee beat the Nets. And
Milwaukee beat the Nets. They beat the Sixers. That was it.
Correct. Yes.
I knew it was one of the two powerhouses.
And Atlanta also beat New York in the Eastern Conference opening round series, and everybody thought that New York had Atlanta's number because New York was having a great year this year, and Atlanta just steamrolled them. And then they beat the 76ers in that 7-game series, and I'm like, oh, here we go. Yeah, this team could go somewhere. And then now they're facing Milwaukee, and now Antetokounmpo's out with that knee injury. That's a very bad sign for Milwaukee. And wherever Antetokounmpo goes, Milwaukee goes because they need Giannis.
Yep.
And Middleton needs to show up.
Seeing that injury the other night from Giannis, I don't think he's going to play again this series. As much as there was no major structural damage, it was still hyperextended. It's still dead in ways that he's not supposed to be. I really don't think he's going to go to play. But you never know. He could surprise everybody and go, yeah, no, he's gonna He's going to go play in like Game 7 if it gets to that.
Let me ask you this: even if Atlanta wins tonight in Game 5, does Giannis come back for Game 6, no matter how bad the injury is? Because he knows that this team needs him, because they can't have just Middleton and Holiday out there trying to score all the points for Milwaukee, because they rely so much on Antetokounmpo's play. And yes, Holiday and Middleton are very important pieces to the offense, but Brook Lopez has to show up as well, and not just get rebounds, but he also has to be consistent with his scoring. And it's a huge loss for Milwaukee.
Well, has Giannis ever shown this type of grip before? Like, has he had his Jordan moment, like his Jordan game?
To be honest with you, I don't think he has. I mean, is he a great player? Absolutely. But he knows. I know he knows, and I hope he knows that this team relies on him, and they need him to be there. Because, I mean, think about it. When Jordan went out with that, when Jordan was sick before Game 5 in 97's finals against the Jazz, he thought to himself, oh, damn, I have to play, because we could go down 3-2 against Utah, and Game 6 is back in Utah if we go down. No, I'm sorry. No, the Game 6 would have been in Chicago. That's right. Okay, but either way, down 3-2 if Jordan didn't play, because they didn't rely on Scottie Pippen to be the top scorer, Dennis Rodman to be the top scorer. Michael was the top scorer, obviously, with those Chicago teams that he was on. And Giannis needs to have that testicular fortitude to sit there and say to himself, I have to play, even though I'm hurt. Think about this, guys, and we keep on preaching this stuff time and time again. Kobe Bryant played through a lot of injuries in the latter part of his championship run with the Lakers, especially in 2009, 2010. He had finger injuries, he had knee issues, and this dude kept on playing through the pain. And if Giannis wants to become the next superstar of this league, basically, as far as a bona fide superstar, he's going to have to do something about it and etch his name in the NBA lore. But I'm not saying he's not a great player, but this is a huge game. Game 5 can determine who's going to win the Eastern Conference Finals and face the Phoenix Suns in this year's NBA Finals.
Yes. So yes, Giannis, if he wants to be the top guy, or not the top guy, but if he wants to be one of the top guys in the NBA, then yeah, he's probably going to play in Game 6. Even if Milwaukee wins tonight against Atlanta, he's going to go and play in a Game 6.
He has to.
He's going to go and show that, it's a closeout game and we have a 3-2 lead. However, I ain't safe. I'm going out there and I'm going to go and play. And while you're talking about that, Steven, I'm also I got the Mets Braves on because it's a Jacob deGrom start. So, yep, I have to go and watch that.
Yes.
Atlanta challenged a triple being called out that was actually safe, and they won the challenge. And DeGrom's pitching pissed. So, let's see how the Broncos does after a triple. Leadoff triple. Anyway, this type of only get why are you chasing after that for 2 swings in a row, dude? Freddie Freeman, you are better than that. DeGrom's throwing a sinking slider and it's going low and inside, and Freddie Freeman's trying to hit it. It's like, dude,
change the pitch.
No, it's not change the pitch. It's dude, like
what does Freeman still is Freeman still having nightmares of Anthony Rizzo striking him out?
All right, that one, that was in good fun, but Christ, Freeman, I mean, 3 straight sinking sliders. What are you doing?
Come on.
Oh, all right. Anyway, focus. NBA.
We're already off the rails.
Sports.
This is what we're good for.
So, Ezra, you got any thoughts about Game 5 tonight and the series in general, and what we're talking about with Giannis?
Yeah, losing Giannis is a game changer for Milwaukee because he's been their main prime scorer. Like I said, the rest of the team has to step up in his place. Middleton's got to, especially Middleton, who has been lukewarm at best during the series. He's got to really put up or shut up here, and he's really got to produce. And that's been a problem that we've talked about throughout the playoffs. That's what happened with Brooklyn. That's what happened with other teams. Is that they're once again, for a bit, relying on the one big superstar. You know, when LeBron went out in the Lakers or throughout the season, they started tanking because they relied on LeBron to produce. Same thing with Milwaukee when they lost Harden, when they lost Durant, or whoever. Whenever they lost players, they always squandered any other games and opportunities because they relied on that prime score, and they can't. The Bucks cannot do that this series.
No,
Bucks cannot do that because they'll end up with the same fate as those other teams. They need to produce. Middleton's got to go out there and score and be a better player. I mean, look what happened with Ben fucking Simmons. Look what his dumbass ended up doing. He cost his whole team basically by basically going.
He had a wide open dunk in Game 7 and passed. What are you doing? I mean, Middleton in Game 3 was phenomenal, but Tuesday night, what the hell? I mean, he didn't even show up.
That's what we're talking about. First week you were gone, Statman, was the whole Ben Simmons situation, which I want to touch back on with you since I didn't get your points and discussions on it a little bit. But back to the Milwaukee series here. Everybody's just got to step up and play their roles to the best of their ability on the Milwaukee team, or otherwise they're going to be in some serious trouble.
Not only that, but when you look at the whole series as you know, tonight, I mean, Milwaukee is now getting bitten by the sports gods, you know, when right now, and fate is not on their side right now, and they had to stand up in adversity and face this daunting challenge and it's a Antetokounmpo out tonight, and facing Brooklyn in the conference semifinals. If Kyrie didn't get hurt and Harden didn't get hurt, I think Brooklyn would have won that series. And I'm not saying Milwaukee's the most luckiest team in basketball history, but they're kind of lucky right now that they're in this situation, because if Irvin does not go out in that series against them, they may not be in the series against Atlanta. And the problem that Milwaukee has is they only have that one superstar, like we've been saying. And the head coach has got to put his players in better predicaments of scoring and give them the confidence to become better players and to step up when they needed them, you know, the most. I mean, Middleton has to show up. Holiday has to show up. Lopez has to show up. Everybody from the bench to the starters, to the rest of the starters, have to show up. And it starts tonight.
And that's the thing. And then on the opposite end of that spectrum, Steven, if you take a look at Atlanta, who's been without Trae Young for what, 2 games now?
2 games.
2 games. Look at the last game. They won by 22 points without Trae Young, and the scoring was pretty much even.
Lou Williams had 21 points.
I'm looking at the box score. There's at least 6 players who scored 10 points or more.
Yeah.
The 6 players. Lou Williams, 21 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. You know, Bogdanovich, 20 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. You know, everybody was producing in the right spots, whether it be off the glass or whether it be on the offensive side of the ball.
Capella being a beast on the boards.
Absolutely. Everybody was doing their part. And that's something that Milwaukee's got to do tonight. If they don't, they're going to be in some serious trouble. And if Giannis comes back even at 50, 75, 25%, they still can't just rely on him to be the primary scorer, because he's not going to be at full strength when it comes to him, because you know how lengthy he is, and he goes, especially when he gets into paint, goes for layups and stuff like that.
Right.
And he comes down, and if he comes down hard on a hyperextended knee, he's not going to be in there for long.
Mm-mm.
They're going to have to take some of the weight off of Giannis and put it on their shoulders in order to not only give Giannis a little bit of a break to, you know, allow him to still produce, but not put as much pressure on him as he was before.
if I'm Milwaukee, I would look at some footage of the Phoenix Suns LA Lakers series when Anthony Davis came back in game number 6 after he got injured in game 4 with the groin injury. He was out there, and I'm sitting there thinking, what in the devil are you doing being out there, with that hurt groin? Everybody and their mother is looking at you going, dude, you should not be playing in this game right now. And that was a bad move by the Lakers because the Suns in that game smelt blood. And I'm telling you, if Giannis comes back in game 6 and gets hurt again, or is not moving at the pace that we know he's good at moving and being the dominant player that he can be, the Hawks are going to smell blood in the ocean, and they're going to come out and attack Giannis because if he's not at full strength to block or to rebound or the contest shots, they're going to eat him alive.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that 1,000%.
No, I definitely agree with that. So, of course, out west, we already know who's going to be in the NBA Finals. It'll be the 93 was the last time the Suns were in the NBA Finals,
Yep.
or was it 94?
Yep.
93.
93.
Okay.
93. You got it.
In Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, 93. So that's 2 teams that haven't been to their respective sports championship games since 93. That's amazing.
It is.
But so Phoenix being there, like this is Chris Paul's first attempt at the NBA Finals so late in his career. I feel like it's something that he should have been able to get to a lot earlier in his career.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Especially some of those Oklahoma City teams.
Those Clipper teams.
And in the Clipper team, or did he play? Yeah, he played for the Thunder, correct?
Yeah, but not for long. But all those years with the Clippers,
that's right.
His third year with New Orleans, that was a great team, and they lost to the Lakers in 7 games in the Western Conference semifinals.
But no, Chris Paul should have been there years and years ago. And like Barstool Sports' Jared Carabas, Suns out, guns out. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go, Suns.
This Suns team is dangerous. This Suns team is dangerous.
And especially
I
now
really think it's their time.
Especially now that CP3 is healthy.
Ooh.
He is playing at the best of his ability. He is playing like a madman. Look at the game 6. 41 points. Dude, 41 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists.
And no turnovers.
No turnovers. He took over that second half.
Dude, he said, give me the ball, get the hell out of my way. I mean, that was insane.
But I got to give credit where credit is due to everybody else who was on that team, though. That Phoenix Suns team that's making it this far. Ayton has been showing up like a madman. 16 points, 17 rebounds in game 6.
And a stat that I forgot to say about last week's game as far as with his numbers, he had 22 rebounds in game 2 against the Clippers. I'm like, holy crap. I mean, this dude is so good at playing the center position.
Phoenix has all the tools to win this championship. There is no doubt about it. It's basically written in the stars for them, but they cannot get lackluster, and that is a thing. They cannot relax. They have to put the foot to the pedal.
Yep.
They got to keep the throttle on. They got to put the foot to the throat and finish whatever team comes through. Whether it's Milwaukee, whether it's Atlanta, they got to keep going. They cannot rest on their morals. This is their time. This is their time. A 28-year drought. They're looking to end it, and they just really got to. They just really got to keep their focus. If they don't, this is just going to be a bad time for Phoenix fans. The whole city might burn to the ground, but then again, nobody lives in Phoenix except for scorpions and probably armadillos or some shit. But who knows? But
and snakes. Don't forget snakes. Hate snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Snakes. I don't know snakes.
I am sick of these mother bleeping snakes in this mother bleeping plane.
I was just getting ready to quote that too. Damn you. But
You
no,
kind of like a snake.
serious.
Where else are you going to get a Samuel L. Jackson quote and 2 Home Alone quotes? This show, baby.
Yeah, that just proves how dumb we all are. But I digress. But
Dumb.
And I got a Home Alone quote waiting in the wings. I just need to have the right moment to bring it out.
Yeah, that's what she said. But anyway,
Or he. It's 2021. We don't judge.
yeah, that's right. But anyways, Phoenix just got to maintain that focus, man. If they don't, it's going to be a sad story for them. But I think they will. I think they're just too motivated, too focused, too just ready to finally bring a championship home to the city of Phoenix after such a long time. And it's their moment. They just got to make it happen.
And Chris Paul said last night after the game when Rachel Nichols asked him, "Hey, how did you guys turn it on in the second half of that game from the end of the third quarter to the fourth quarter? They were up by 7. Los Angeles was rocking and rolling. You know that when they cut it to 7. I'm like, here we go. This could really turn right now." And Chris Paul said, "Nope, we're not going to lose this game and go back to Phoenix for a game 7 in our building. Even though we had the home court, we don't want to do that. We want to win right here, right now." And boy, Chris Paul had one of his best, if not his greatest performance in any part of his career, his 16-year career. And man, he looked like a man amongst boys last night. That dude was on fire. The shots that he was hitting, he was confident. Some of those threes he hit were just insane. I mean, my God, that 4-point play was just, whew, that was good. He is playing right now like Dirk Nowitzki did for the Dallas Mavericks 10 years ago in 2011 when Dirk and them went on their run for the championship and they beat Miami in that series. Dirk was so focused, laser sharp focused. He told his team, "Hey, the job is not done. We have some more work to do." After they beat the Lakers in the semifinals, after they beat the Thunder in the conference finals, they said, "Hey, we won the conference finals. We got part of the job done. But the biggest goal is the NBA championship." And Chris Paul said it last night. We won the conference finals. That's great. But the biggest goal is that we need to win the NBA championship for this city of Phoenix. I'm telling you right now, this is if you out there in sports land picked Phoenix to win to get as far as they did, you deserve a boatload of cash because, man, nobody, not even us, and a lot of sports fans that I know and a lot of sports fans that we know never saw Phoenix being where they are right now in the NBA Finals. And Chris Paul also said last night he came to Phoenix because of a guy by the name of Devin Booker. And that dude is playing balls out. That kid is so good. He reminds me of the late, great Kobe Bryant. That dude he has got ice water in his veins. He is insanely good. Talented jumper, great defender, just all around great player. And he is playing like he wants a championship. And I'm telling you, just like this whole team, DeAndre Ayton, Jay Crowder with his 3-point shooting. I mean, just that Phoenix team, man, is so fun to watch. They are so fun to watch.
Well, the Suns are definitely fun. It does bring up a little bit of a question about the LA Clippers. Are they forever just going to be the brother Lakers? Are they going to go with a hump? Can Kawhi beat them like Toronto? Maybe they're just one more piece away. Who knows? I know Kawhi didn't play. I don't think he played in any of the series.
No.
Oh. So
Or no.
Wait. In
Wait.
Series, but
no, I don't think he did he?
I know he didn't start the series.
Wait.
Due to what happened in the second round.
No, he didn't. You're right. Yep, you're right. I had to think about it for a second because he wasn't there for the first 2 games. Yep. Okay. Yep.
But I wonder if the Clippers are just never. Are they ever going to make it? Are they ever going to be able to go up?
Ty Lue said after they beat the Mavericks in their 7-game series, "Oh, we're better than the Lakers." We're moving on. Ha! Where are you at now, fellas? Home.
Well, I mean, it's still
sweet
better than the Lakers.
Well, that's
well,
kind
at
of
least none of their players walked out 6 minutes before the game ended. So,
well, yeah, true. But seriously, talked all that smack saying that we're better than the Lakers. Oh, we're moving on. Where you at now? Home, where you belong. Again, the Clippers had a good team this year. Paul George was great. Kawhi Leonard was great when he was healthy. And Reggie Jackson, man, somebody get that dude a raise. That dude played really well in this series, in the last series against the Mavericks as well. Like he really needs to get a better contract for the Clippers because they need him. Because Kawhi, when he was out, Jackson said, I'm stepping up. And boy, did he at times in this series and in the last series at the end of the game.
So, any other thoughts on the NBA? I do want to go and send a congratulations to Detroit Pistons for winning the NBA lottery. I have no idea who's doing it for one pick in the NBA draft in a few weeks.
Oh, so Detroit has the number one pick.
Yeah, they were the ones that won the lottery. Go and bring that up real quick.
Interesting.
please don't tell me we're gonna do like a 4-hour-long special on the MLB draft.
No.
No.
It is on a Thursday, but no. Besides, it's only 2 rounds. The NBA draft is always only really been 2 rounds.
Thank God.
I can't find the.
I don't think I can survive another 5 hours.
Oh no, believe me, I'm not doing stuff like that.
I would eat a whole case of Code Red if that was the case.
I need something else to start. So the same butter as that. To be able to go 5 hours of that again. All right, so I'm only going to do, I think, up to pick number 15 or yeah, let me just go through like the top 10 at least.
Okay.
So Detroit Pistons got number 1, the Rockets number 2, Cavs at 3, Raptors at 4, Magic 5, Thunder 6, Warriors from the Minnesota Timberwolves 7, Magic from the Bulls 8, Sacramento Kings, New Orleans Pelicans. It's your top 10. Those keeping the score at home. For those who are Knicks fans, they picked number 19. So good luck, have fun with the no name. What I do know with the NBA draft is top 5 picks generally are good, and everybody else is usually bad. I say usually because there are diamonds in the rough. But it's like that with every draft. The only one that you can go and deem as, the draft is just like the 4 major sports. The NFL and NBA drafts are big time boom or bust. And the NHL and the MLB drafts are big time. Draft them, mold them, show them the ropes. It's what happens. They're either going to have it or they're not. And most of the time they have it. Might as well NHL one while we're at it, since those are close. So the NBA draft will be Thursday, July 29th. The NHL draft will start on Friday, July 23rd and end Saturday, July 24th. Order is set for the first 27 picks. Actually, it's probably set for the first 29 picks. Actually,
Yeah,
brain's still broken.
Yeah. At least the
Just
NBA.
say that.
Yeah, at least the NBA draft is not long like the NFL's. Just saying.
No, the NHL draft is like the NBA draft is 2 rounds. The NHL draft is 7, like the NFL. And I forget exactly how many the MLB draft is. But the Buffalo Sabres are the number 1 pick in the NHL draft, followed at number 2 by
That's
new
impressive.
franchise Seattle Kraken.
That's a hell of a last name. Just saying.
Yes, no, and the logo for the Seattle Kraken is fantastic. I am going to look that up real quickly.
Absolutely, yeah. We actually that was something we discussed last week because of David Hackstall being the new coach.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm not in favor. I wish I remembered this when we talk about the NHL, but then again, we only talk about the Stanley Cup final. He's a clown. That is like, oh god, getting David Haxtell as your coach is just a clown. He's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's doing. So that's a great move. But then again, better than
That looks like it really felt good, sir.
So dumb he couldn't even organize Legos by color. Speaking of that, the reopening of Lego stores is a big event in 2020. People were lined up for blocks.
Yeah.
Oof.
All right. So here, and yeah, you're gonna see tabs open. A lot of tabs open.
Sorry, I just looked at it.
Roll right past that real bad one. So here is the Seattle Kraken logo. That is their logo. Is this not awesome?
It does look cool. Part of it looks cool. Part of it reminds me of like the Call of Cthulhu or some shit.
Yes.
But then
Yeah,
part of it
that's
also
the thing. And I don't know if these are legit or not. They're too small anyway to actually. Give me a second here.
Oh, and by the way, we just found out
Super
that
Troopers. Enhance. God damn it. Try to enhance it and enhance. Okay, now I can enhance. Here is what Wikipedia has said will be their uniform set, which looks pretty good. I really like that. I kind of want to buy it.
the color scheme is actually really, really good. I especially love the navy. I love the navy blue with the teal.
Yes.
With the teal stripes on the sleeves. I really like that.
Very nice.
It's much better than Vegas. Vegas's color scheme to me is just very drab because of the gray. I've never
they all look like statues outside of Caesar's Palace.
Yeah, I've never liked that at all. And of course, some of the like concepts that I've gone and seen at Seattle Kraken jerseys, like I'll go and show you.
I can't wait till Gene Simmons buys an NHL team and then see what their outfits look like.
Well, I mean, did you know that he invented hockey? He gave the NHL the idea to hoist the cup over the head. At first, they just looked at it and just were like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, because if anybody else does it, he'll sue him. But you know,
here's a concept jersey that somebody posted that I really, really liked.
Ooh,
especially
actually
like
looks
that
really good.
Like Steven, it's a like kind of a gradient. So like it goes from that navy, and then it mixes into the top where it turns into that teal color. That's
almost like you're going deeper into the water.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it's and like that's a concept image of somebody who went and did a quick mock-up and going, "Hey, here's what I like."
Nice.
So I love that. I wish that is what they went with. Obviously, with the road jersey, you have to do some type of white. Though this one looks more cream colored than white. For those of you who are not aware, I'm a massive uniform guy. Like I look at uniform stuff all day. I visit Union Watch all the time. I go to sports logos to look at logos. Uniforms days old. There's one little NFL nugget that we'll get to when we talk about the NFL in a few minutes. but I'm a massive uniform person. I know we got way away from the NBA. Want to have any like final thoughts on the NBA?
At this point, I think we're good.
I think at this point we're good.
Okay, sorry about that. Completely derailed this for like 10 minutes. Cool. So, why don't we do a quick MLB score update since there's no hockey game? They play tomorrow night in
Sure.
Montreal.
Let's do it.
In fact, I'll go get start time for Game 3 tomorrow night. Let's find it. So July 2nd on NBC in the States, CBC up to the North Canada, good old Canada. It'll be at 8 p.m. On NBC. Tampa Bay, like we said earlier, they lead the series 2-0 over Montreal. It is being played in the Centre des Belles in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. NBA, I don't think the game has started yet. The game is not started yet. That's 8:30. Atlanta in Milwaukee for Game 5. It is what I do love about 7-game series is when it's a tie game, tie series of 2 games apiece. I love best of threes. This is when you find the most drama in a series because it's like
Exactly.
we need to prevent the other team from winning tonight because that means that we could be screwed in the next game. We don't want that. And both teams are doing the same thing.
Yep.
I love that, especially again in the NHL. Like for some reason, just the drama just goes up tenfold. So we got 2 games were postponed today. Let me go and bring them up real quick so I can just see the details if they offer any. They are not, but the 2 games that are delayed. Postponed rather, are the Angels at New York Yankees, which honestly is a win for the Yankees at this point. And the Miami Marlins and Philadelphia Phillies game is postponed, likely due to weather. There really haven't been any COVID issues. The only COVID issue is NC State College World Series. Had to forfeit their semifinal game against Vanderbilt. Which I will say very briefly that Mississippi State won their first College World Series championship in their history in their 12th attempt at trying to go and get it. They beat the barn doors off of Vanderbilt last night 9-0. It was a 1-hit performance for Mississippi State. They had a no-hitter going into the 8th inning. So congratulations to Mississippi State on winning the College World Series. It was a lot of fun watching this tournament. A lot of games going down to the wire. A lot of games ending in walk-offs, just being a fun College World Series. I love the fact that they were back after a 2-year absence because shit just sucked. So finals today: the Seattle Mariners beat the Blue Jays 7-2. The Boston Red Sox beat the barn doors off the Kansas City Royals 15-1. Chicago White Sox defeated the Minnesota Twins 8-5. Texas Rangers defeated the Oakland Athletics 8-3. Games currently going on at the end of 2. The game I'm currently watching. Atlanta has a 3-1 lead over the New York Mets. Jacob deGrom gave up a 2-run home run in the first inning, but only allowed 1 base runner. Second. So what's the next one? The Los Angeles Dodgers and Washington Nationals tied up 1. Top of the 4th, Brewers have a 2-0 lead over the Pittsburgh Pirates. Bottom of the 1st, the Cleveland Indians hold a 1-0 lead over the Houston Astros. Bottom of the 3rd, Cincinnati Reds hold a 2-0 lead over the San Diego Padres. And the 2 games left on the docket tonight. The St. Louis Cardinals visit Colorado Rockies at 8:40 p.m. Eastern Time. And at 9:40 p.m. Eastern Time, the San Francisco Giants Surprise team at 15-29 are facing a surprise bad team in the Arizona Diamondbacks at 9:40 p.m. Eastern time. So go and get into some brief NFL news. The big story today is that the Washington football team has been fined $10 million for from ESPN and Adam Schefter of ESPN. NFL fines Washington football team $10 million after an investigation into workplace culture, the culture of misogyny, harassment, all around like bad vibes. Dan Snyder is voluntarily stepping away. He has named his wife, Tanya Snyder, the team's co-CEO, and she will take over the duties and represent the franchise at the function for 7 months. Dan Snyder will focus on the new stadium plan and other matters. It was all voluntary. This move to make her the co-CEO. Gotcha, Steve. So there's going to be workplace trainings covering topics such as bullying, diversity and inclusion, LGBTQ plus issues, microaggressions, and unconscious biases. So just trying to go and make the culture surrounding the Washington football team, formerly Washington Redskins, a better environment for them. A lot of women who have harassment issues. Through here, unfortunately. So that's been the big news. In February, the team reached a settlement with his former cheerleaders who appeared in videos made without their knowledge during swimsuit calendar photo shoots in 2008 and 2010. The franchise also announced that it had paused its cheerleading program and did its branding with the new investigation. So there's been a lot of issues with watching a football team. Maine, giving Dan Snyder just not play, not wanting to play, but not knowing how to hold on the team. Maybe you guys have comments on this if you're familiar with the story.
This is this whole situation with the whole investigation. I mean, with everything that's gone on with this, with them being, with the name change because of the pressure of cancel culture, and then this going on, it seems like the team itself has it's gone through a lot of hardships. But if there is legitimate, like the fines, I expect them for the NFL to be legitimate fines. I don't expect them to, just make up bullshit just to, prove a point. So if there are true problems within the organization, then they did a great job and they made the decisions they needed to make to penalize Washington for those transgressions. So, really, the fact that Tanya Snyder was made the CEO now, it's going to be interesting to see what she does as the new CEO of the organization. I know they mentioned about, possibly plans for a new stadium and things like that. But I think the whole stadium plan needs to be put on hold, and the internal of the workplace needs to be taken care of. Like I said, the fines and everything that's a great reinforcement point. But you can find you got to think these franchises are making billions of dollars, not millions. Sometimes stuff like that is just a drop in the bucket.
Yep.
Like finding LeBron James, like finding LeBron James $50,000 when the man makes over a couple million per year or a couple million per year per game.
That's nothing.
That's nothing. That's a drop in the hat, and that could mean you never know. A player like that or a team like that could just go back to their old ways. So, if these transgressions that Washington is going through, if they don't improve it, they're gonna have to step in some more.
Yep.
But I find it. I did not expect this investigation to come out. I didn't expect them to come forth with all this stuff. And if it's very interesting to see how the team moves forward, especially due to the fact they don't have a new name yet. They don't have anything else. And right now, they're trying to focus on not only on-field efforts, but they're focusing on off-field efforts, which trying to do both, I know is going to be a daunting task when you're trying to not only fix the problems within the organization, you're trying to fix the problems out on the field and trying to get your team to be the best team possible.
Yep.
So it's going to be very, very telling this off season, the rest of the off season into preseason on what happens with this team.
And I'm glad a couple minutes ago you brought up about the fine, and it's a $10 million fine. So Mitchell Tischer on Twitter, he is works for NBCS Washington, NBC Sports Washington, Washington Football Pod. He went and said for some Washington football team fine context, a $10 million fine for a $3.5 billion organization is equivalent to a $285 fine for someone earning $100,000 a year. And no, you are wrong. It's not what that is. So, quick little economics and finance lesson for you guys. When a business or an organization like the Washington football team is said that they're worth $3.5 billion, that does not mean that they have $3.5 billion in liquid assets.
Correct.
That just means that they are worth that much estimated between their liquid assets and their investments, the equity that they have. Just like when Jeff Bezos or an Elon Musk goes and donates $5 million to a cancer research center, but they're worth billions of dollars. Well, that's $5 million that they had in liquid assets.
Mm-hmm.
If the reporting was not about Jeff Bezos, $50 billion man, donates $5 million, if they had changed that around to Jeff Bezos, who donated 10% of his liquid assets, it might be a little bit different. Of course, you're still going to get some people to say, well, that's not enough because he's worth millions. And I say, shut up. Do you have that type of money? No? Then shut up. So, no, the $10 million fine, the math is right. However, in this context, it's wrong because it's not a $10 million fine up against its entire worth. It's a $10 million fine up against its assets. My liquid assets probably resemble dimes and pennies. My worth probably resembles. I'm not going to go and donate quarters because I don't have quarters. So, any other news and notes about the NFL from you guys before I go off into another one tangent?
I was reading a few things, a couple small, one or two small things. The NFL did find the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Dallas Cowboys, and the 49ers for some OTA violations. They were fined for off-season workout violations. Jacksonville drew the largest fine out of the group with $200,000, while San Francisco and Dallas were fined $100,000 each. And not only that, Urban Meyer, who's the new head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, was docked $100,000 himself, while Mike McCarthy for the Cowboys and Kyle Shanahan each received $50,000 fines.
I wonder what they did to go and warrant that. I wonder if maybe they just had an illegal practice or something.
Yeah, it says right here that they violated rules set forth by the league's collective bargaining agreement. It says that the specifics of the violations are unknown, though they typically center on intensity of practice sessions and resulting contact. So, we're not totally 1,000% clear on why they were fined, but it's more than likely something that has to do with, like they said, how hard they're practicing and the type of contact they're receiving already when the season hasn't even begun yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
That's fair.
one other thing I forgot to mention is that all three teams will also have to forfeit an undisclosed amount of OTA days in 2022.
Woo.
Oh, so it basically just space.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and then one other thing, just a quick little note, is that the Steelers have signed Sam Sloman, who was the ex-kicker for the Tennessee Titans, to a one-year deal.
Interesting.
So, because they signed him, but then waived DeMarcus Christmas, who's gonna go. But he's been injured, so he'll go to the reserved injured list if he clears waivers.
Well, Christmas came early for him.
yes.
I thought my dad joke was bad. That was terrible.
I realized when I
Sorry.
I thought my dad joke was terrible. God, Steven. How can you? How can you?
River.
Sorry. Sorry.
How can you do that, sir?
I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
I'm just joking. I'm just screwing around. But no, hopefully he'll find another team to go
Yeah.
be a big kicker for. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's pretty much it on my end as far as any like major NFL news bullet points.
Yeah, well, it's been quiet. Steven, you got anything on your end?
I think I'm good.
You don't have
All
you
right.
don't want to bitch about Aaron Rodgers again?
No,
this-
no. We haven't got. We're already deep into that pool, but I'm not going to make the water go even higher on that just yet because that bandwagon is woo. It's big. It's really big.
It's also like he really hasn't been in the news lately, so it's just
No,
like
no.
you have to be grasping the straws to say
Until Mr. Rogers and his neighborhood continue to poke the bear that is yours truly when it comes to being pissed off about said Rogers not showing up to OTAs and these mandatory training camps and not doing what he's supposed to do for the football team. I will not say no words about Mr. Aaron Rodgers.
No, definitely not. And yeah, just stay away from the jokes, Steven. Stay away from the jokes, please.
Yes.
Speaking of jokes, I have a horse and I call him Mayo. Sometimes Mayo nays.
Wow. I mean, besides, why would Mr. Christmas want to play for Pittsburgh anyways? I'm just saying. Anyways,
Wow.
he'll be better off playing with another team that actually cares about him.
Maybe he can play with the Giants when Cam Newton goes to them.
Or even better, maybe Cleveland could use him.
Yeah. Sure. Let's talk about the shit team. No.
Yeah, that'd be a holly jolly Christmas. Anyways,
I gotta piss off some people sometime,
yeah, that's why I said my thing about said Mr. Christmas about leaving Pittsburgh. Sorry, Pittsburgh fans. Love you anyways.
Dallas.
Oh, trust me, I know Deb
It'll-
Housen
it'll-
in
it'll only-
PA
it'll
and
only-
Marks in New
if he
Mexico
does, it'll be
love
the-
their Steelers.
If it does, it'll be the only time Dallas fans will be happy during a football season.
Yep.
The only time they can be happy in December.
Ah, nice. Very good, Seth.
Very good,
All
sir.
right, back on the track.
All right, we are going to go back on the track from about 20 minutes ago. So so this was a week ago. I wanted to go and talk about this last week when I was on the show, but adulting is hard, folks. So the NFL has approved alternate helmets for use with throwback uniforms in 2022. According to league spokesman Brian McCarthy, he tweeted last Thursday that teams must tell the NFL of their plans for an alternate color helmet for the 2022 season by July 31st, even though they won't be used for another year. The use of a second helmet was dropped in 2013 over concerns that wearing more than one helmet might not be safe for the players. As those concerns have eased, clubs have lobbied for an alternate helmet. The second helmet can be worn only with so-called classic, alternate, or color rush jerseys, and all players must be fitted for both helmets before training camp. But an additional helmet design would likely be most popular throwback looks, which would include Tampa Bay Buccaneers white helmet with an orange Buccaneer logo, the New England Patriots Pat the Patriot look, and the Tennessee Titans Oilers logos. Amongst others that I can name off the top of my head, like the Kelly Green Philadelphia Eagles. What's another one? I love, and you kind of already see it with Miami Dolphins, so I really can't put them into play, but the way the New York Jets uniforms look currently, you could absolutely go and do the old 80s Jets uniforms.
Nice.
Green Bay Packers quarterback helmet should have a question mark because who knows who the fucking quarterback is going to be this upcoming season.
This is true.
Yeah. Instead of a G, it's a question mark. But though, if you do that, you might have to go and pay the individual money. Though they might be safe as long as no players on the field just start going karate. Who is the question mark?
Rest in peace, Joseph Hudson.
Exactly.
And shout out to our
his
very
birthday
own
today.
Mongrovian Mike. Oi, karate!
And it's also his birthday today, so honor him.
Yep, definitely.
Get that out there. So
you can find Elder ranting about Pearl Jam near you.
Yes, and fellow 90s bands that he doesn't like.
Or like I saw on Twitter earlier today, blue cheese on buffalo wings.
On what?
Blue cheese dressing on buffalo wings. Like on buffalo, like chicken wings.
Okay, hold on. Blue cheese on buffalo wings.
Yes.
What?
No. You are not allowed to go and tell me that you're a ranch guy.
I'm not saying I'm a ranch guy, sir.
Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, our nation's sports
sitting here telling you wings are fine without any sauce.
All right, good.
What are you, the Dave LaGreca
of tell me that you were a weak human being by saying that ranch dressing belongs on a buffalo chicken wing, because no, ranch dressing doesn't belong anywhere except in salads.
Wings are wings. You don't need extra shit to have nothing on the wings to make the wings taste good.
Like,
if you have buffalo wings, it's fine. If you have garlic Parmesan wings, it's fine. If you have barbecue wings, that's fine. No, you don't need extra shit to make your wings even more better.
No, well, that's the thing. It's like you don't, especially if you get a really good buffalo sauce. When you get a really good, you mentioned Parmesan garlic or lemon pepper wings.
I love how his accent just came out when he said that. He's like Parmesan. He's like Parmesan garlic.
Shut up.
The Boston.
Shut your face. Good right? Shut your face.
Your cousin from Boston.
Those are seriously great commercials, though.
Ladies and gentlemen, our nation's sports show has been interrupted by the new show, Our Nation's Sports Show.
Our nation's sports show has been interrupted by Our Nation's Sports Show.
Oh my God! And the fact that you
come
brought
for the
up
thrills, stay for the beers.
Now we return you to your regularly
Don't
scheduled
get me
programming.
wrong. I love my wings. If you have garlic parmesan or buffalo or like really good buffalo sauce or any of that good shit, you don't need other sauces to give the shit an extra taste because the sauces that goes on the wings make it good.
The only time I've ever gone to put extra, like a blue cheese dressing, is when I go and take a taste of the wings and go, oh, they didn't do the sauce right. All right, I got to go and add a little bit more.
Yeah, that's
I only ever use it if it's
that's
bad
when I'm not
wings.
going to kill you. You know, like you just said, if the flavor of the actual wings isn't too great, then God bless you. You know, use the wing, use the sauce. It's fine. It enhances it. Then, but if the wings are cooked crispy and excellent, then you don't need to have extra stuff to make the wings even better.
No, I mean, look, if you want to go and throw ranch or blue cheese, well, no, if you want to go and throw blue cheese in your buffalo wings, go for it. If you want to go throw ranch in your buffalo wings, then please don't take offense to the fact that I'm going to call you a weak human being and you will not survive the winter.
I just love how
Travis will be coming for you.
I just love how you bring up food and it causes me to go on a semi little rant.
Hey, look, it's
You're
okay.
bringing up food. You're making the fellow fat man here hungry. So stop with the food talk.
I've been hungry since the show started.
See, that's your damn fault. But
Well, because I just really haven't eaten much today.
it's all good.
Um,
Let's get back to the sports before the last
Yeah,
half hour of the
'cause-
show turns into a Food Network special.
Oh, believe me, if you didn't go and say just that now, I would have launched into something. Because real quickly, 2 years ago, we were celebrating my birthday. We were doing a game, we were playing a game where you were having discussions about things. You had to agree or disagree with it. Somebody brought out the card. Cereal is a soup. Agree or disagree?
What?
And I damn near lost my mind. Lost my mind.
Cereal is not a soup. Cereal is cereal. Soup is soup.
Exactly.
Pizza
That's what I
is
would've
pizza.
said. That's what I said. Cereal is not soup. They're like, but it's liquid and some solids. I went, but are you going to put meat in your cereal? Are you going to put
Dear
lettuce in your
Lord.
cereal? You're going to put celery, carrots, peas, and it's also cold. They look at me and go, well, borscht is cold in Russia. Borscht is cold in Russia because Russia is cold.
And whatever you do,
Cereal is not soup.
Do not put pork in your cereal.
Next thing you know, someone's going to try to tell you that a hot dog is a sandwich.
Get the hell out of here. Whoever says that, give
What is
me
this?
a break.
What is this? What's up with these food combinations? What is this? An iCarly bit?
Somebody legit tried to go and tell me, well, a sandwich is meat in between two buns. Number one. Nice. Number two. No, a hot dog's a hot dog.
Pizza is pizza.
Pizza,
Burgers
pizza.
are burgers.
Hot dog's hot dog. Cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria. Oh, okay. Back to uniforms.
Once and let you know the game between Atlanta and Houston, or Atlanta and Milwaukee has started.
Nice.
Woohoo! Oh, with the uniform stuff, it means Pat the Patriot comes back for Patriots fans. It means that the what's another team that has some really sick throwback uniforms? I mentioned the Philadelphia Eagles, the Kelly Green, the Crimson Bowl Buccaneers uniforms, and I would love for Brady to go at least to the 2023 season so I could see number 12. I can go and see that happen again. And, so that way I can go and hear Tampa Bay radio personality, play-by-play guy, Gene Deckerhoff, go and say,
Yes.
Bucks win! Bucks win!
Bucks win! Bucks win in overtime!
Bucks win in overtime! Tom Brady and the Creamsicles!
I love Gene. He is awesome. Tom Brady with a touchdown pass. Dude, did you know that he was the announcer, the PA announcer for the Madden games all those years?
Yep.
Wow, that is so cool.
So in the Madden games, it was fantastic when they put who's the one Gus Johnson. When they
Yes.
put him as the play-by-play guy, I'm like,
Yes.
I know in the game he's going to be muted, but I would love for it to like there's a crazy play going down, and you just hear him go, "Whoa!"
Yes.
Um, so, but
Did I miss the old Madden days?
God, please! I can't wait to see
now
the Pittsburgh. I can't wait to see the Pittsburgh Steelers back in the Killer Bees cosplay. I mean, their retro jersey.
See, honestly, the Steelers, as much as I don't like the Steelers being a Patriots fan, being a uniform guy, they have one of the cleanest uniforms in the game. Same with the same with the Green Bay Packers.
Yep.
Same with the Carolina Panthers. I have always loved those uniforms.
They look like they walked
Those
out of
are-
a bumblebee convention.
Well, Pittsburgh, yes, that was pretty bad. And then there was the year 2007 when the Philadelphia Eagles did their the Philadelphia flag colors, and it was like this really, really clashing bits of yellow and blue. Oh God. No, but like the three I'm the most excited for, in terms of throwback uniforms in the NFL, is A, Pat the Patriot uniform. 2, the old Orange Crush Denver Broncos. You remember those days with John Elway? Those were fantastic uniforms to go look at. And D, it's got to be, and it's the only thing I like about the team, the Dallas Cowboys Lone Star white helmet uniforms they usually would wear around Thanksgiving. It's those three uniforms
Yes.
I'm looking forward to the most. Because I miss that Lone Star. The Lone Star. It's not the star they have now with the blue outline. It's just the one blue star. Love it. Miss those uniforms.
Yeah.
Oh. So, how about you guys? Do you have any uniforms off the top of your head that you can't wait to go see?
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Right?
For me, basically, you know me being a Bears fan, you know, any of the classic retro Bears jerseys. I mean, for me, I am just, you know, when you talk about those classic retro jerseys, oh my God, I love them to death. I've loved the like the dark, like the really dark, like almost like a gray, dark gray with the dark orange. I love those. I love the classic white with the navy blue and orange stripes on the sleeves. Those are some really cool jerseys. Those are some jerseys I really want to own one day. Is those classic retro jerseys. Like I said, Pittsburgh, while I joke about their jerseys are pretty different for the time. In their team, and it matches the color scheme, and it just makes it's different because it pops compared to some of the other ones which may look plain.
Yes.
So I mean that's pretty cool. Like you said, the old Lone Star Dallas Cowboys jerseys and helmets are going to be cool to see. The old Patriots ones are going to be awesome. So I mean, it's going to be cool to see what these teams bring out as their old uniforms, and kind of just give a different feel to the season. So
as much as we joke about the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we love our fellow friends who are Steelers and Cowboy fans, respectively, they always seem to bring out some really cool throwback uniforms, and it should be very interesting.
Except for those bumblebee or I always call them like the inmate uniforms. I'm like, ew.
Yeah.
And also, here's to hoping that I just remember like going through the catalog in my head of all the teams that have some really cool throwbacks. Here's to hoping that the Los Angeles Chargers go and do, because they have a ton of different combinations with their jerseys. I still think they have one of the best jerseys in the game in terms of modern NFL. They have a navy blue set, and I'd love to go and have them do the blue days of the Chargers when they were in San Diego with navy helmets. Like the Dan Fouts era navy blue. I'd love for them to go and do that. Oh, that'd be a rocket combination. Awesome. Again, I'm a massive uniform guy. I love looking at different ones. Another one I just thought of, Seattle. If they went back to their old Seattle days, it was like the light blue and green. I am probably boring to death. A lot of people will like this kind of stuff about different forms here there. Everything else is like
Yeah.
like a Monty Python skit right now.
Yeah.
Oh. Yep. I just have to go and check YouTube, and the first comment from Steve Logston said the Jets should have jerseys made of canceled flight vouchers.
What up, Steve?
And then Jeff Grease said pork and cereal, something Ezra would try.
Who the fuck said that?
Jeff Grease. Grizz.
Oh, Jeff Bryce. That's my buddy who I work with. Yeah, Jeff. Yeah. Yeah, by the way, hey, right there for you, buddy. I'll see you tomorrow night. Just kidding. Jeff is a good guy. He's a huge sports nut, especially basketball. He loves his NBA. So he's very knowledgeable about it. And so he
I'm sorry, but that deserves a wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
I'm not going to do an Adnan Burke. I'm going to do the Owen Wilson. Wow.
Well, you suck.
Whoa.
But
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. That's beautiful, isn't it?
I'm attacking everybody and everything, okay? This is a rare Thursday moment, man. Let's go. No, but I don't know if you have any more NFL you want to get into at this time.
No, I'm pretty much tapped out on the NFL, and I'm gonna stop.
I was gonna say
about uniforms.
Yeah, before we get into Major League Baseball, because I know you have something you want to talk about the pitching situation and all that.
Oh dear God! Don't even get me going on that again.
Just a couple of quick MMA notes, real quick. But one big one is that there was announced for Bellator that Fedor Emelianenko would be returning to return to fighting and return to Bellator very soon here. Actually, there is no named opponent for him at this time, but it's really looking like there's going to be what it's looking like is he may be fighting in his home country of Russia.
Ooh.
Coming up soon. So more information on that as it becomes possible. Rumored opponents include possibly Alistair Overeem and Junior Dos Santos.
Ooh, two big-time heavyweights. Woo!
Two big-time heavy hitters. But you know who is also pushing for a fight with Fedor?
Who's that?
None other than AEW's own Jake Hager.
Oh, my.
Yep, Jake Hager is pushing to get a fight against Fedor. That's going to be really, really interesting how that's going to go down. I mean, don't get me wrong. Jake Hager's not even in the same league nor the same universe as a Fedor. You remember when undefeated for 30 straight fights over 10 years.
Yup.
The guy in his glory days was a complete and utter monster. You know, I watched those fights. I watched a lot of those fights at Bellator where not Bellator, but his Strikeforce, where he just wrecked people left and right. That's, of course, until Dan Henderson stopped his ass, but I digress.
Yeah.
One other thing I want to get into is the video that surfaced on TMZ the other day, and that is of UFC former Bellator fighter and glory kickboxer Joe Schilling knocking out a guy at a bar.
Wow.
Apparently, this guy was saying something about Joe Schilling's significant other, and this is according to Joe. And so Joe had no choice but to defend himself, and he knocked him out with 2 punches and left him stiff.
Whew.
The guy suffered an injured eye and also some other lacerations to his face. So now the guy is suing Joe Schilling for assault in civil court.
Uh-oh.
So this ought to be interesting to see how this goes.
Very interesting, especially because he pissed off a legit fighter. I mean, yeah.
Remember the video? Remember the video that surfaced years ago of the guy who decided he wanted to piss off. I'm trying to remember his name. It started with a D. He was a small fighter. Oh no, it was Roger Huerta, Roger El Matador Huerta, and the guy pissed him off, and he decided to fight him in the middle of the street.
What?
And when he did, he threw a punch, and all it took was two shots to the face, and freaking Huerta knocked his ass out. And this dude was a karate expert. He was a karate guy, and he wanted to start shit with him. And Huerta just played his ass out on the cold concrete in the middle of Mexico.
Wow.
That was something, man. I remember that like it was yesterday. There was also George St. Pierre came out and said recently that he predicts that Conor McGregor will finish Dustin Poirier at the big UFC fight this month. So I believe that fight actually takes place July 10th, if I'm not mistaken, at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. So that'll be a good fight to come up with.
It will.
Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier 3, and both men are looking to get back into the title picture. So we'll see what happens there.
Oh, yeah.
But that's pretty much the end of my MMA news for right now. So, Statman, I know you got a bone to pick with pitching and baseball and your usual shtick. So the floor is yours, good sir.
All right, so I'm going to pick this week and what I wanted to cover the last couple of weeks. All right. So it is about the pitchers currently not being able to use fight attacking and sticky substances. So we have now had week and one, the first suspension. We're going with the next name on the top. Oh yeah, I forgot I can't talk and type at the same time. Otherwise, I start typing out what I'm talking. So umpires are checking the pitchers as they come into the game, as they leave the mound, for any foreign substances that they determine is not legal. Now, Seattle Mariners pitcher Hector Santiago is the first pitcher to receive a 10-game suspension for allegedly violating foreign substance rules by the end of by Major League Baseball. I have a problem with the fact that they just implemented it, not slowly, but bang, here we go. And we're just going to go and start doing this. You have players like Sergio Romo who goes and takes his pants down to go and check, in such a tizzy, like, oh yeah, you want to? Okay, here you go. Here's my pants. You got Max Scherzer. Now in this one, Joe Girardi's being a dink and checking him 3 times. Like, check his hair. Check his hair. Check it in his hair. He's rubbing his hair in his hands. Like, dude, so Scherzer just throws his glove and everything down on the ground. Like, there you go, guys. Pick it up and look at it. Staring daggers at Girardi as he walks back to the mound. And speaking of mounds, Jacob deGrom after the first inning seems to have slowed down quite a bit because Braves really haven't done much since the first. So all these pitchers that are complaining about not being able to use the stuff and it's unfair, you're just whining and crying because you can't cheat anymore. You can't blatantly and obviously cheat. Now you've actually got to go out there and pitch. You've actually got to go do what your job is supposed to do without any type of substance. And some of them are honestly pitching and complaining like they're on a drug dependency. It's not that bad. Like, I don't know why. And you still got a few pitchers like DeGrom who he comes off the mound. He's not used to sticky stuff, which is just further proof that what he's doing is special. And oh God, imagine if he was using sticky stuff. Oh boy. Of course, this was all brought up by current Los Angeles Dodgers Power. And he brought it up because, hey, this is going on. What are you going to do about it? MLB said, well, I mean, we don't see anything. Nothing's going on. Oh, la da da. So Trevor Bauer concocted his own stuff. Garrett Cole was using stuff. Max Scherzer was using stuff. Verlander was using stuff. Every pitcher conceivable was using something to go in and get bed. Because for a long time, batters had been steroids, whether it was anabolic or HGH, different types of supplements. They were able to go and have an advantage. Now the pitchers had an advantage, but of course everybody knows as much as defense wins championships, offense puts fans in the stands. So what does everybody love about the MLB? Big time offensive moments, big home runs, big bases clearing, doubles, singles, just the offensive firepower of watching a Shohei Ohtani have the MLB home run lead, or Vladimir Guerrero Jr., or a Willie Adams, in Milwaukee, hitting a grand slam to cap off a 14-run inning for the Milwaukee Brewers. Sorry. That's the exciting part. But the pitchers are the ones to blame, are the ones not to blame, but the ones who are victims here, because they can't cheat. But batters can still, shut up. Just shut up. Pitch. Oh. That's pretty much all I wanted to get out about this. Is, the pitcher just seems to be more petulant and crybabies. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, it's a very messy situation, and these pitchers are getting what they absolutely deserve. And I went on a huge rant a couple of weeks ago, or about 3 or 4 weeks ago, on this topic, and it drives me crazy. And like Hijacker Mike came on with us that night, we were talking about this stuff, and it's so crazy how these pitchers and these players that think that they can get away with using these kind of substances to better their play. Like Steve said in the comments a couple weeks ago, if you want to use steroids, that's fine. It's totally up to you. But you know the consequences that you have if you use steroids as far as the long-term effects of using steroids. But when you're using substances like this, that's really stretching the envelope, and it's ridiculous that they think they can keep on using this stuff to make their play that much better, because eventually they were going to get caught. And I still can't get Cole's comments out of my head from that press conference that he did. Hey, what did you use this? No, I can't answer that. Dude.
I don't know how to answer that. And then the next time he's on the mound and he just sucks. Oh, for Pete's sake. Oh, for Pete's sake. Oh, for Pete's sake, Cole. God. Pitch. Better.
There's two things that I do not like in life. It's a liar and a thief. And right there, that is proof into itself that he lied. Because how do you go from pitching as well as he was until he gets questioned about it, and in the next game that he pitches, he has none of the substances on him, and his game went down? You don't need illegal substances like that to better your play. If you're a great player, you don't need that crap. Give me a break.
Well, I mean, his, the fame, as much as I rail against these types of stats, spin rate. Everybody's out for the spin rate of your ball. Spin rate is actually a good thing in baseball because it allows more movement on the ball and makes it tougher for the pitcher.
Yep.
For the batter to hit it.
Hashtag stat nerds.
Yeah, hashtag stat nerds. Hashtag go F yourself, stat nerds. So, of course, his spin rate is lower. His average in 21 is a 2,552. His max is 2606. His min is 2299. So it's definitely gone down, especially his changeup going sub 2,000 RPMs. I mean, it's down all across the league. Spin rates are down for pitchers because, well, they're not allowed to go and get extra grip on the ball for more spin.
Yep.
And I mean, if the umpires do the job and actually go and throw up the balls a little bit, kind of rough them up, make them look a little bit better, it'd be great. But the umpires don't go do that. So I am currently trying to go and look up spin rates because I know that his spin rate went up. I just can't remember how much it went up once it got to Houston. Gee, I wonder what happened. Houston.
Houston, we have a problem. I wonder what that problem may have been. Freaking trash cans.
Looking. Wow, this is a very Bear with me here. This is very, very fun stuff on go and do live. Very fun.
Yeah. As far as the whole situation involving them, check it. Pitchers can think they're the victims when, like you said, when in reality, they're the ones who created the problem.
Yep.
If they wouldn't have done it, they wouldn't have been using those foreign substances, whether it been a spider tack or some other type of substance that helps increase spin rate and control over the pitch, then it wouldn't have been a problem to begin with. But they can't. There's some pitchers who you don't realize until that advantage is gone on how limited their pitching truly is. Now these people have actually got to practice. Now these people actually got to take the time and work on their pitching, work on their control, work on the spin rate, and work on the command in general. And when you see stuff like this, it's sad when you know that these pitchers are not putting their 100% full effort into the game. And that's what the sport has always been about. That's what sports have always been about. It's been about putting your 100% effort into every game, every pitch, whether it be any sport. It could be any pitch, any shot, any kick. It doesn't matter. You got to put your 100% effort into it. And if you don't, why are you there to begin with? You're just there holding money and holding a spot on the bench. Right now, when it comes to that, with baseball, a lot of these pitchers need to get their shit together, and they need to do it quick because they're not going to be allowed to cheat anymore. And we're going to see who are the real stars, who are the real great pitchers, and who are just complete frauds. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how the season plays out now that they're checking these players for foreign substances. And also George Girardi needs to stop being a whiny little bitch about, he touched his hair, he touched his hair. So, okay, fine, I'll touch my hair in the middle of the game. And as soon as I touch my hair, I'll go, right there, buddy. Fuck you.
Well, Scherzer being the crazy mother trucker that he is, he's staring at Girardi the entire walk back to the dugout. And then when he's in the dugout, his eyes are always wide open. He looks like he's going to kill you. I've gone and seen video close up of him waiting for a pitch and doing, he's got the glove up and he's just going, yeah, I'll go and take that pitch. Yeah. Oh, that's right. You motherfucker. You're mine, you little bitch. And he's just saying that like a mouthing this off. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's insane. Oh, I wouldn't want to meet him down at Dark Alley. He's definitely rougher than a $2 steak.
You know how much is a $2 steak?
How much?
$1.99.
So, no, but on the topic of Garrett Cole, and sorry to Yankees fans, so I'm really not sorry at all. How's fourth place feel?
I knew he was going to do this on his return.
Yep.
Let's go to the standings, folks.
Let's go to the standings, folks.
Let's look at this. Because look, you have, I don't know, just the first place Boston Red Sox, the best record. Okay, Okay, the Giants have a better record by like half a game. But regardless, 51-31, riding a 7-game win streak, 2 sweeps in a row, a series. It is fantastic.
And speaking of said
To go and see that.
fantastic, Mr. Sir, how about that phenomenal ass beating that Boston gave? Sorry, Ashley. Kansas City.
Yeah, that was definitely a throttling. And like the last few games have just been slugfests for the Red Sox. I was imagining that this one was going to be the same thing, and it wasn't. It was an absolute. It was a brutality in terms of the score with Kansas City, who falls to last place by a half game to 33-47 on the season. But no, back to America's favorite ball team, the New York Yankees, or at this point, like Jack Robinson said on Section 10, the Louisiana Balloons. They're playing terrible, and this is the team that was the odds-on favorite to win the World Series this year. And yeah, how's that working out for you guys? They're only 2 games above 500, 41-39. 9 games back of the Red Sox. They're 5.5 games back in the wild card to both the Oakland A's and the Tampa Bay Rays. I've got a bad feeling about this. This is going to be one of those years where the Yankees are like, well, screwed up. Screwed up. And looking around the league, it seems to be kind of falling into place a little bit as to who's going to be at the top. NL East still looks like garbage. Yeah, I know the Mets were on a tear lately and playing really well, but it's still the Mets. They could be playing really, really well, and it won't matter one bit. In the end, they will solve this too. Nail. Or
Quick score update for the Eastern Conference Finals and NBA. The Milwaukee Bucks are up by 14 right now, 36-22 at the end of the first.
wow. That's pretty interesting. So, anybody else have any baseball notes? Anything you want to go and say about the MLB or anything in general?
Let's see here.
Stop being whiny babies, pitchers. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, outside of that, really there isn't much going on right now. So I would say I think that's it for that.
All right. So then, why don't, now that we see that maybe this Bucks-Hawks game is looking like it might be a good one if it's a 14-point lead, why don't we go and, unless there's other news and notes you guys want to talk about, well, why don't we go and wrap this up and we'll watch let's go watch the Bucks and the Hawks.
Sounds good to me.
All right, let's get our final thoughts in. I'll go ahead.
So, Ezra, final thought.
Well, final thoughts are this is another great show, of course. We did great. First of all, great to have you back, man. Back at the reins here. I took over the past couple of weeks, and it was a little bit tough sitting in the big boy chair because I hadn't hosted a show of any kind in a while, and but it was fun. But we're glad to have you back at the helm. We're glad that back as a trio, ready to rock and roll again. It was a great show, great discussions. And I can't wait to watch this Bucks game, and really get deep into it and see what's going to happen, because it's looking very promising for a possible 6-7 game series. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, just thank everybody watching. Keep watching, keep sharing our stuff, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We love you guys, and stay safe out there. I know weather's getting kind of crazy in certain areas. I know, Steven, you've reported some severe weather in your area.
Oh, it's finally died down, thank God. But I'm sitting here thinking, oh shit, because like there was a loud kaboom with lightning striking, and I was like, man, this is whoo. Yeah, I was like, don't lose power, don't lose power. But no, we pulled through, baby. We pulled through. But
Yeah.
no,
Like I said, I've been here a lot of boost, but it's just because the neighbors next to me are lighting off quarter sticks.
My favorite time of the year. Was that a gunshot or was that fireworks?
Yep.
I can't tell right now. Well, I don't hear any screams, so that must be a firework.
Yep.
Yes, definitely.
Then again, it could have been a gunshot because I don't hear any screams.
Yep.
All right, Steven.
Final thoughts from me. Great show once again, fellas. Kevin, glad to have you back on the show with us, man. You know, and once again, like I said at the start of the show tonight, we dedicated this show to my uncle Bob, who passed away unfortunately last week due to being with his illness that he has suffered for the past couple of years. And yeah, wearing this Giants jersey, man, this was truly an honor. And to my Aunt Dana, Eric, Shelby, April, and Ashley, my cousins, all of y'all, Olivia, everybody, I love all you guys. Man, this is for you, Uncle Bob. I love you, brother. God bless you. I'll see you on the other side, brother.
All right.
That's some great words from Steven right there. And Ezra, of course. My final thought as box. What was that?
I'm back.
Yeah, no, I know Steven just muted and shut his camera off, and then all of a sudden you did. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on here? Am I supposed to have like some real thought out speech? Because
no, there's not an earth-shattering kaboom going on.
Gotcha, big kabooms. So my final thought, is just about, people go and say, they're the best in the world at this, or the best in the world at that, or, Bret Hart, best there is, best will, best there was, best still will be. Those people who claim that they're the best, a lot of those people are probably bullshit.
Yeah.
Some of them, though, they are the best. And the man, like I said, Bret Hart, he absolutely is the best. He's one of the best technical wrestlers out there. I've seen plenty of baseball players, football players, like a Tom Brady. He's the best out there. The reason that he's the best is because he put the work in. He's the best. I've been taught throughout my life. You have a craft. You have a hobby that you want to make a masterpiece. What you need to do. Going that craft. Keep practicing at it, working hard at it. You master that craft. Constantly be trained, constantly be learning. Take constructive criticism.
Yes.
Don't brush things aside. Don't brush things under the rug. Don't go and pretend you didn't hear a question. Don't make snide comments or remarks, that, oh, well, you're not there, so you don't know, because let me tell you, if you want something rude said to you, go and say a comment like that. And above all else, as you are learning and taking in the criticism and taking in all this stuff on the road to mastery, remember that practice makes perfect. Always be willing to go and learn how to make perfect practice.
Yes. If you don't practice, you're not going to get better.
Nope. That said, we're going to wrap this stuff up. So make sure that you're going to follow us, as I have neglected to say this all night long.
Hey,
make
save
sure
it for the best for last,
all the
brother.
socials. What's that?
Save it for best for last.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Follow us on all the social media accounts, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Go to MySpace. I think we might actually have a MySpace for once. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll even want to throw some stuff on SoundCloud if we can learn how to auto-tune the voices. Whatever type of social media we decide to go and put out there, we might even go and make a TikTok account to go
Who
and do
knows
stuff.
at this
You
point? It's
never know.
2021.
So follow us on all the social media accounts at Our Nation Sports Show. Just go and drop that in search bars and everything. You will be able to find us. We'll be back same time, same channel, same group of folks talking sports, maybe a little bit of food, maybe a little bit of banter back and forth, and maybe a lot more bad jokes.
Yep.
So for Ezra, for Steven, and for myself, we bid you a fun farewell, a good night, and to see you later never.
Peace.